things are looking up. If you've existed in the online Minecraft space over the past couple of years, I'm sure you've heard one of the biggest criticisms of the game. Mojang isn't listening to the players. Whether it's zero-tick farms or mob votes, a lot of people suggest that the developers of Minecraft aren't listening to their community. A pretty harsh critique, but it would be wrong to say the company is perfect. However, I really think this era is coming to an end. There are a lot of signs Mojang is favouring what the players want more and more with each update and new feature. For example, wolf variants. People have been asking for this for years. The earliest formal suggestion I can find was in 2018, but I know there have been texture packs and mods making this dream come true since at least 10 years ago. And now, Mojang has listened and added fun new textures for wolves, depending on which biome they spawned in. And they're really cool. It encourages exploration and will be a huge victory for Minecraft fans who have always wanted this. Not only that, wolf armor is being added too, which, again, has been something requested for so long. I'm sure most people watching this have had an experience where you tame a dog one of your first days in the world, and then you get attached as you progress. Each stage of the game your companion by your side, until one day it dies in battle. Or a teleportation related issue. But now they'll actually have a chance to survive. Also, I think it's really important that the method of obtaining the wolf armor comes from the armadillo. I've seen lots of people complain that when Mojang adds a new mob, it seems like they just throw it in and then let it get forgotten. Glow squid. But I'm sure many players now have a huge incentive to go out and find this new creature, maybe along the way realizing it's the perfect addition to their base, or a new friendly companion to come home to after a long day of mining. Speaking of the armadillo, this is what it used to look like, and this is what it looks like now. The mob started off dark and quite silly looking, these front-facing eyes making it look squished and unrealistic. People took to the internet and said why they didn't like this texture, and Mojang very quickly produced this lighter, more accurate, and, in my opinion, better design. In a similar vein, a small section of the Minecraft community enjoys pixel consistency. The idea that since Minecraft is a block-based game using pixel art, it makes sense that the pixels on a mob's design should be accurate to their size. Mojang seems to also think this is important, as they have gone back and changed some of the textures of previously added mobs. The Vex and the Bat. The Bat became a better scaled and better looking mob. Many commented that this new design is much more aligned with the current art style of the game, and I have to agree. The Vex is a little more interesting. Losing the evil smile, this mob became a corrupted version of the newly added Allay. Again, consistent with current art style, but also gave some very interesting lore implications for fans to theorize over, and I know I'm not the only one that finds that cool. Moving away from textures, Mojang has become a lot faster at fixing the changes that people widely regard as unhelpful. In a recent Minecraft snapshot, a bug was fixed which meant players could no longer sprint over one block gaps. This fault in code inadvertently became an unintentional feature, used a lot in parkour or even speedrunning. So many players spoke out about this change, and within just a few days a new snapshot was released, bringing back the block jumping ability. Snapshots themselves have changed recently too. Bedrock players are now much more able to access betas, and they're released pretty much alongside Java snapshots now. This follows a recent trend of Mojang really trying to ensure there's very little difference between Java and Bedrock. Keeping version numbers consistent, having texture parity, and making the games feel more similar have all been part of this effort. I think it would be fair to say Java has been more focused on in the game's history, but the Bedrock versions encompass more players, so it just makes sense to allow both groups the same opportunities. You could even argue the marketplace and subsequent content creation is Bedrock's answer to modding, which would otherwise be a difficult and lengthy process for consoles. And even if it upsets most people, those who dedicate their time to contributing to other players' experience should have the option to monetize that. After all, some of the stuff people create is amazing. Copper Raw. The smaller parts of recent updates have been adding things people have wanted for ages. Copper, as Lady Agnes said, has been wanted for so long. The oxidization properties and being able to attract lightning are such cool features for Minecraft. Changing how a lot of farms work, but allowing many more players to mess around with parts of the game they couldn't play with before. Plus, it's exciting just to see what new items will involve the ore. Like the mace, and trowel chambers by extension. I've been obsessed with maces as a weapon in games forever, and seeing the possibility to use one in Minecraft was so cool. Firstly, being able to craft them for newly updated dungeons was very interesting, but then the windburst enchantment allowing you to fly exponentially from every mob you hit? That's cool. I think it's amazing Mojang was prepared to give such a new and exciting mechanic to a weapon only just being added, knowing it's powerful, but also knowing it requires a lot of skill to use. Speaking of weapons, the combat snapshots show Mojang listening to the community perfectly. 12 experimental versions of the game, starting from 2019, all about trying to make PvP better for players, and each version people would give feedback, and the next release would address it accordingly. It's been quite a while since we've gotten a combat snapshot, but I imagine now the focus is just implementing new changes into the game. And I'm sure the mace will go through some testing as well, considering it can one-hit a warden. As you can probably tell, these examples are starting to get earlier and earlier, which, I don't know, might say that Mojang has been listening to the fans for a while and it's just a small section of the community that gets upset when the exact demands aren't there. Who knows. I believe that a lot of the efforts of Mojang recently have been focused on fixing the spaghetti code of the game, meaning they need to go and clean up work that has been done previously, so that future features can actually work, and there are less bugs in the game overall. Minecraft 1.15, the Buzzy Bees update, is a pertinent example of this, with a huge list of bugs being fixed, and notably, floating point precision becoming more accurate, which meant that if you were millions of blocks away from spawn, your animations stopped looking like this. I presume, once all of the past code that needs changing has been changed, we'll start seeing more and more stuff in the updates, like a potential end update. Please Mojang, please. Anyway, thanks for watching. I know it's been a while since I last uploaded if you're a vaguely good regular, and if not, welcome. Feel free to like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video, but as I always say, I won't beg you. If you made it this far, I really appreciate it. Feel free to comment. I'm going to try and respond to every single one on this video. Anyway, have a nice day. Bye bye, bye, bye bye, bye bye bye.